have heard about it, you may have laughed at it, you may even know someone who's claimed it, but what is straight edge?
For me, straight edge is just like the personal commitment to a life free of drugs, free of alcohol, and free of substance abuse.
In 1981, Minor Threat released the song Straight Edge, but kicked off the whole straight edge movement in a short 46 seconds. But why do people choose to claim edge?
Well, I didn't really smoke or do drugs in the first place, so that wasn't too much of an issue. But drinking didn't really appeal to me.
The reason I decided to claim straight edge, at the time, one of my best friends and a lot of my friends in school were, I was like 14 or 15, and a lot of people say like, oh, you can't be straight edge until you're 21, but I firmly disbelieve like with that. And because like when you're in high school or when you're in middle school, there's like so many of your friends are just getting into all those like drugs and alcohol and everything else, and that's when like the temptations and the peer pressure is like the hardest. And one of my friends, my best friend actually at the time, like he did a lot of drugs and he like overdosed, and he almost died actually. Like I had to like sit with him in the hospital and stuff, and like that paired with my like stuff in my family and like my father's past and stuff like that, I kind of made up my mind that I didn't want to have anything to do with that at all, and that it kind of went hand in hand with my faith and what I believed in as a Christian.
Because of the music I was in, there's a lot of straight edge people. Like Martin Kirby, he was my main inspiration, lead singer of TAFE.
From that day on, I just felt like that none of that was good enough. Like none of that was good for me, and that I didn't need it to have fun, and I didn't need it to fit in with anybody or with any group. So I decided to become straight edge and just kind of take a vow to myself never to do that stuff.
Does this make those who claim any different from everyone else? How does this affect their day-to-day lives?
Not really at all.
Like being home or anything else, it doesn't really affect it, but like on tour and everything, like there's people in my band that drink and stuff, and there's people obviously in every band that we tour with, there's people that drink and do drugs and everything, and that's just part of the lifestyle.
But at parties it's a little bit awkward because everybody else is drinking and I'm sitting there like, yeah, this is fun.
There's always pressure from like friends and everything, and but they respect me. Like they know that that's my decision and that's what I stand for.
Straight edge oftentimes creates controversy, especially when misunderstood. Is there a bad stigma attached?
There's a few bad people out there. There's like people that beat up other people because they're not straight edge.
There's places in the States where straight edge is considered a gang. Certain people and certain like crews and stuff that are straight edge like beat other people up for smoking and stuff.
I think that's really sad. Like, it's your personal choice.
It's something I do for myself, not for anybody else.
But why do people claim edge? Why does not drink and have no labels attached?
That's a good question, and a lot of my friends kind of ask me that a lot.
It seems a bit easier and more people understand what straight edge is, and it's easier to explain. Like I've seen people that don't drink and they got pressured into drinking, like people like, oh, why don't you drink, oh, just take a sip of this, all that stuff, and they get crowded and flamed. Whereas if you're straight edge, people are like, oh wow, he's serious, step back.
Having a label or just having that title, it just kind of reminds myself like on a day-to-day basis, like I have X's on my hand that constantly remind me, and it's just kind of I don't know, it's something that I decided to take on. Like I don't, even if I said I'm not straight edge anymore today, like I still don't plan on drinking or doing anything. It's just, personally, it's just a reminder to myself that I've chosen that lifestyle, and it's something that I'm proud of, that I can say that I've never consumed alcohol, I've never smoked cigarettes, and I've never taken any drugs.
Straight edge, in such a short time span, has had such an impact on the lives of those who claim and those who don't, both positively and, unfortunately for our minority, negatively. As you have seen, it is obvious that straight edge is not a trend and is here to stay.
Like I sing in a band and everything else, and like I have the time of my life. I'm in another country right now, and it's like just being able to do that and everything is just a sign that like I don't need those substances, I don't need all that stuff to be cool or whatever.
Most people think it's stupid. They're like, oh, you're young, you gotta live your life to the full. But I am living my life to the full.
Go ahead and try to stop this straight edge.